The baby in first class is drooling all over his mother's sweater. It's probably rude to watch this happen without saying anything, but the thought of leaning over and telling a total stranger that her kid is ruining her cashmere while we're hurtling at cruising altitude somewhere above Lake Erie feels like an overreach. Besides, it's not worth disturbing the quiet hum of the plane. Not when this baby, I think it's a boy, has been asleep since we left New York, and there's still another hour to go before we hit the Midwest. So instead, I keep staring, likely thanks to that predictable late 20s biological pull, but also out of envy as I try to think of the last time I felt that untroubled, that indifferent to space and time and turbulence. At least the baby is one of those objectively cute ones, fat cheeks weighing down that soft, milky pale face, lips scrunched in a rosebud, two ghostly eyebrows suggesting a strain of ancestry that my mother would be able to geolocate immediately in the way Chinese women always can, even when afforded only a glimpse through the rear view of whoever might be waiting behind us in the McDonald's drive-thru with the same telltale nose bridge. It happened rarely enough in central Illinois that those moments of recognition always resembled a special occasion. From the folds of the baby's blanket toddles one thick leg, tightly furled like a drumstick wrapped with a little gray sock. Next to me, in the window seat, Ben yawns awake from his grown man's nap. He follows the direction of my stare and nudges me. "Hey," Ben says with a grin, "one thing at a time." I roll my eyes, moving my gaze off the baby and down to Ben's great-grandmother's ring, which I slide up and down my finger again. It's turning into a bad habit. Ben had it resized over Thanksgiving, but I swear it's still loose, and I can't decide if I should tell him or wait until we're back in the city and take it to a jeweler myself. Either would be more useful than endlessly testing the drag of the band against my skin, as if I'm expecting the white gold to shrink down now that it's making itself at home. Even Zadie noticed this new tick the other day, when we were splitting the $20 hummus plate at brunch and bitching indulgently about how Williamsburg always got so overrun with German tourists for the holidays. "Stop messing with it," she chided, and then picked at her bangs so she could avoid looking directly at the diamond, like she still couldn't believe that the big E happened to me first. Here, inside the fluorescent interior of the 737, the ring wiggles over my knuckle with what feels like a promising amount of effort. But wasn't there some scientific explanation about how the cabin pressure makes your fingers swell or something? Ben's leaning over me now to get a better view of the baby across the aisle. Then, rubbing his jaw thoughtfully, he turns back to me. "Ours would be like that, right?" "Like what?" I give him a look. "Asian?" Ben pretends to be offended. It's part of our ever-running gag, because of course he isn't making this about that. "No," he says, smiling impishly. "Quiet." This makes me laugh. I say that I hope so, and Ben takes another glance. "And a little Asian," he adds, completing the punchline. Because of course, he's a white guy and I'm the Chinese-American girlfriend. Well, fiancé. So actually, it's always about that.